Hello! Welcome to Nerd Talk. All nerds all talk, and the truth is, I am Iron Man. Buying this mask was the best decision I ever made. Is it too early to get nostalgic about 2012? We'll never get another year when apocalypse theorists had both the most exciting year and most disappointing Christmas ever. We all found a new way to laugh at crazy foreigners. And nerds will always remember it as the year where the best series of Batman films ended and the greatest series of Marvel films began. These were two of my top movies for the whole year, not just for their quality, but for what they represented. Nerds have been building up to this for years. We've slowly got the public interested, starting with films like X-Men and Spider-Man, and slowly leading up to the two most anticipated films of the last few years. We owned 2012. We had Hollywood's balls in our hands. We could get it to do whatever we wanted. We've been screaming for a decent Batman film for years, and the possibility of an Avengers film for years. We played the long game, and it paid off. 2012 was the year we showed we were not to be fucked with. Fuck Gangnam Style! We had Hulk and Thor on one side, and Anne Hathaway as Catwoman on the other. We had it made! Yet there were downsides. There's still horrible conflict in 2012. A lot of violence and fighting and escalating tensions, and the war, of course. The war between Marvel and DC was hotter than ever. You see, it's funny because you thought I was talking about the Middle East. Bear with me. Marvel fans were square against DC this year. We were like two kids arguing on a playground about how our dad could beat their dad. The Dark Knight Rises argued that their film was more artistic and more serious, had a better tone and more themes to it, and the Avengers had the argument that our dad could beat your dad and fuck your mum on his brand new Audi TT. I'm hardly the voice on the subject, but I still like to hold the belief that my opinion is better than others. No, I'm kidding. But I do have a good list of reasons, I think, why the Avengers beat The Dark Knight Rises this year. And not just in the box office. Burn. Oh yeah, and possible spoilers ahead. Firstly, the ambition required to make the Avengers was massive. Now imagine me as a small child. Which shouldn't be that hard, since I'm essentially arguing who would win in a fight between Iron Man and Batman. Now, if you told me in just a decade they will make films of some of my favourite superheroes that eventually combine them together in one flaming orgasm of a film, then I would tell you to get out of my room and stop looking at my action figures. You don't deserve them. I call this one the Harvenator. And yet, here we are. And it's so amazing because in theory it probably couldn't have been done. They're all massively famous characters, all needing the same amount of screen time, all needing to please the fans of the original comics while still making it accessible for new audiences. The money required to make it would be huge, and the risk of getting the money back would be even huger. And not to mention, everybody would expect this to be nothing short of the best thing ever. It's the biggest cinematic gambit since The Lord of the Rings. The Dark Knight Rises was always going to be a hit, and it was always going to be at least decent because of Christopher Nolan and what he'd done for the franchise beforehand. And I think that's why they played it more safe. No major characters die, and it doesn't have the same flair and creativity as The Dark Knight. It's an example of high risk, high reward. Number 2, nothing set the world on fire in 2012 like the Avengers. The films have thrust nerd culture into realms that you would have never even thought possible. If you don't believe me, my god, look at all the ships. And for those of you who don't know, I don't mean any kind of nautical term, I mean gay sex. There's Stony, there's Thorky, yes, I know they're brothers, that doesn't seem to matter to them. Oh, and if anyone here wants to go, oh, but they're not blood related, it's fine, please, kiss your sibling from me. Literally any combination of men from the Avengers. And I can't really picture any of it happening before the film came out. I mean, I can't be sure, but I'm pretty confident nobody saw Loki as a sex symbol until Tom Hiddleston played him. Now, it's up for debate whether this is a good thing, but it just means that, like, entire subcultures and fandoms and new experiences are being formed because of the Avengers and all the movies related to it. The Dark Knight made superheroes cool. The Avengers made them approachable. And all while becoming the second highest grossing movie of all time. Nothing else will ever recreate that success in superhero movies. That includes The Dark Knight Rises, and sorry DC fans, that also includes the Justice League movie. Good luck with that one. Numéro 3! Oh damn! Moments. Personally, a superhero movie should make me feel excited. Though not sexually. Wait. Maybe. I love the feeling of becoming a little kid again while watching superheroes. What happens up on screen should reflect how the audience feel about the characters. We want to see Spider-Man flying through the air, the Joker creating chaos and being hilariously macabre, and the Avengers avenging stuff while looking really awesome, while doing Avengery things. Which is why I found it really hard to get excited while watching The Dark Knight Rises. The moments I loved in the movie involved Catwoman and Bane. It's a bad sign when Batman continues to be the least interesting thing in his own movies. If Batman would even show up. He hasn't come in till a quarter of the way in the movie. But then there's my favourite moment where his back is broken. Then it's another hour of just angst from Bruce Wayne. Watching the Avengers, you just feel, yes, this is what I want to see. Long, sweeping shots of them all fighting. The shot where they all stand back to back. Iron Man versus Thor. The Hulk fucking things up on a helicarrier. Just this beautiful moment. Joss Whedon knew what the fans wanted, just like how Christopher Nolan knew what the fans wanted with The Dark Knight. But Joss won it this year. And Thor. How they completely pulled it off after years of anticipation. I tried hard not to get too excited about the Avengers. I really did. Every part of me wanted to think it was going to be the most intense geekgasm I had ever had. But the rational part of me thought it was too much. Too much could go wrong. They wouldn't get the characters right, or the action wouldn't be good enough, or the group dynamic wouldn't work out. Very much in the same way as The Dark Knight Rises. After The Dark Knight, which could be called the best superhero movie of all time, there was a lot of anticipation on Nolan for his final Batman film, but it was an anticipation that was too much. He couldn't better his last film. I still loved it. I thought there was so much good stuff in it, but it was a victim of its own build-up. But let's take that and apply it to the Avengers. Build-up for the Avengers had started ever since Nick Fury talked about the Avengers Initiative in Iron Man 1. In the meantime, multiple films have been put out, if not only just for build-up. It could have built up to be the most disappointing anticlimax ever experienced, but somehow they made it work. Those crafty bastards. The internet community, the geek community, the general public, we all took it into our hearts. This stupid blockbuster about a man dressed in an American flag and Norse god on a robot, and it was critically applauded all round. That deserves total recognition, and a leg up from Chris Nolan ushering in a new dawn of superheroes. Which brings me to my last point. Paved the way for superhero movies of the future. Ant-Man. Motherfucking Ant-Man. Do you know who that guy is? He can shrink and he can talk to ants. That's probably relevant in your life, and it's not a condemnation of his character. I'm just making a point, and the point is this. He is getting his own movie. A guy who can talk to ants. I mean, can you even picture something like this being greenlit in a time before the Avengers? The Avengers basically put a stamp on all Marvel characters to say, come on in, everyone will love you since we got the Avengers out. It seems like something that would only come out during the time of superhero films like The Tick. And it's got Edgar Wright attached to it, who's the director of Hot Fuzz and Scott Pilgrim. So it has a chance of being good. Fucking Ant-Man could be the next big thing. I think it only happened because of the Avengers. For better or worse, superhero movies will be greenlit for years to come because of it. I mean, come on, The Dark Knight Rises was good, but can you see them making an Aquaman film after it? I think not. So that's my opinion. And it is just my opinion. I mean, if you disagree with it, well, then maybe you should get your own internet show. Bitch. So here's to 2013, boys and girls. Saddle up for a hell of a lot more superhero films. I'm Harvey Westwood, and fucking Ant-Man.